Hello darlings, it's 4:30, we are the 5th of January and we are about to enter really Looney Tunes. We are right at the fourth corner, Sirius the Great. We're about to have a lunar eclipse on the 7th and this video is about explaining to you what's happening right now, but it's also about people, it's time to really grow up. This is our last year on the mutable cross, and this is really the separation. Those people that, a lot of people are going to lose it completely. You're going to be whirlpooled. This is the Tempest. This is what I've been talking about. Now we've got Iran all over the news. Iran is the home of the lion Persian king, King Sirius. And Iran is the IRA with an N at the end. This is all about fire and ice, red and white, merging with Lord of the Rings. And so we're coming up to this eclipse on Looney Tunes, which is the 10th. Now this is 10 Downing Street. This is the solstice that I showed in my last video. So the new top of the wheel, they want Ophiuchus, this fake hero, to take over. And this is to keep people stuck on the St. George's cross of the dragon, the fixed cross. They tell us we're going into the age of Aquarius, but we're going back into a twin peak age of a red and black. Aquarius air, heaven, and Capricorn earth. And that is not going to start happening till next year. But if they can create enough fear and enough, they can create enough bedlam this year, then by the time we move through the true twin peaks, we move into here when Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter all move into Capricorn for the solstice next year, the true 10th door. Well, actually, this is going to be the new west door. The new 10th door is Scorpio. And this represents England, the Union Jack. I have to take you through the work that I've been doing since the last video, because it's the only way I can explain. So I give up. Kate's baby is called Louis, Sun God, King Louis, France, Les Gallois, Wales, Dragon, New South Wales is on fire. Total solar eclipse. So this was the 26th of December. Boxing Day, Lord of the Rings, and a ring of fire closes into New Zealand, New South Wales, Oz, Waltz, Disney. This is Waltzing Matilda. That's what Waltzing Matilda was all about. Waltz, Disney. This is the waltz. This is, you know, this is the dancing on the tin roof. This is ground control to Major Tom in his tin capsule. You can leave the capsule. You don't have to hop around on the hot tin roof. We've got to get through this year and everything that's going to be thrown at us. I mean, you can't just think that all this is happening at the same time. You've got to have a minimum of intuition and sensitivity left. You cannot keep following the psychopaths. And this is not just in the big picture. This is in our personal lives. This is everywhere. People cannot see through the fake heroes. We've got all YouTube full of masterclass, which I'm going to show you. Master is Aquarius, but we're going into Grand Master, Cardinal Earth next year. You've got to really grow up, and you've got to face that all this is done by design. You have to see the bigger picture. We're coming out of 2,200 years of the mutable cross. That's why Andrew has fallen from grace. because Andrew is the white and blue. It's the white cross. It's the skull and bone 322. We're at the fourth 2-2 now. This is what I explained in the last video. We're at the last corner. That's why I'm bringing in to show you Sirius the Great. Sirius II of Persia, commonly known as Sirius the Great. So this is exactly where this lunar eclipse is coming up on the 10th. So we're going to have right on Sirius the moon. This is the opening of Looney Tunes, and we've got all the planets in Sagittarius, fire. That's why mainstream astrology is just so off. They're talking about Uranus being in Taurus. Uranus is in fire, and Uranus has been retrograde now for 6 months, and it's about to go forward. At the same time that Mars is about to join everybody in Sagittarius. Here's Mars, and you know, it's what I've been explaining to you about the Romulus and Remus. The last empire was here where I live. We're about to go on Deadly Valentine, so that's why I spoke to you as well about Picnic at Hanging Rock, the Australian film set in Victoria. So we've just had in the news that the fire is closing in between Victoria and New South Wales. Well, that just represents the St. George flag, the red fixed cross. So we're leaving the St. Andrews of the Union Jack, and the St. George's flag, the fixed cross, is now joining with the Welsh, so New South Wales. And the film Picnic at Hanging Rock is set in Victoria, and it starts on Valentine's Day. So we're coming up after this on Valentine's Day. Mars is going to be on this fake hero. This is the masterclass M they're giving you. This is what they want to trap you in, the fake hero, because they're going to come and save you. You know, they're taking us through this absolute chaos. And, you know, you've just got to stay cool, because next year, if you let this fear reach a peak, you are going to create the next 20 years and the whole new age of this bullshit CC climate change crap that we're being led into. It's all done by design. They're stopping the rain. So look at this. So for this eclipse on the 10th, we've got Mercury. So we've got the old rulers of the Skull and Bone Cross, the Scots, the 332 Scottish rites, that is Mercury and Jupiter. So Mercury and Jupiter are using the power of this lunar eclipse, with Mercury right next to this sun god, the sun, in Sagittarius fire. He's actually in detriment in Sagittarius, but he's very visible. And this is opposite Sirius. Here's Sirius, and here is the moon. So the moon is conjunct to Sirius in Gemini, and this is Sirius the Great. That's why 9/11 was 18 years ago, the last time that the head of the dragon, this is the head of the dragon, North Node. South Node was in Sagittarius for 9/11. Then we had Notre Dame. This is all about the end of this past age. We had the Queen's speech, where she talks about Victoria 200 years ago, and Picnic at Hanging Rock is set in the Victorian times. So that's when Australia was rising. They, you know, Australia, all the Commonwealth countries belong to these Persians. To the, you know, this is the Italians. This is the Irish. This is the red and white and green. And the green man is the CC, crucifixion, the Pan Man. This is Agenda 21, getting everyone into smart cities. So this is our last year for us, the Pluto and Leo generation, to do our job so that we can hand over the reins to the generation who are going to take over from us, the Pluto in Virgo generation, when all the planets here move into Capricorn next year, when Saturn, Pluto, the good, the bad and the ugly, move into Capricorn. Then Jupiter will have no more power. They're using this eclipse. Look, this is the bow. This is the bow of David Bowie. And this is the fake hero. This is heroes. We can be heroes. La 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 la. This is it. I'm sorry. It's 5 o'clock in the morning here. So, commonly known as Sirius the Great, also Sirius the Elder by the Greeks, was the founder of the Achaemenid Empire, the first Persian Empire. Well, this is just the Romans. And this is what is so important about Lupercalia. You know, there could be a dead, you know, this is really Deadly Valentine. This is Hell's Pont. I mean, you can't make this up. Under his rule, the empire embraced all the previous civilized states of the ancient Near East, expanded vastly, and eventually conquered most of Western Asia and much of Central Asia. From the Mediterranean Sea and Hell's Pont. Right. Okay. Well, you know, I'm sorry I'm mixing lots of stuff all together, but the Welsh, the Gaulois, Prince of Wales, the St. George and the Prince of Wales are joining now. This is the New South Wales and Victoria, the St. George's Cross, the dragon was killed by St. George, but this is the reigning, these are the two dragons coming as into one power. And I'll show you, I've just got, see, I was reading that, I'm sorry, I'm moving around so much. Yeah, this is They Are Gone, Solid Gone. Kate wore the same dress as Mia Farrow and Rosemary's Baby for the birth of King Louis, Aka Virgo. And Mary Magdalene is over. We change cross every 36 degrees, 369, the line broke and the given broke. Well, 36 is also 39, it's 369. That's why we've got this image today, you know, hailing the original Aborigines, the Aboriginal flag, but this red and black is actually standing for the twin peak age being taken over by their Persian king. This is the emblem of the lion sun. That's why we've had all the Lion King. This is the lion sun. This is the Persian. This is Sirius the Great. Iran's national flag, and formerly was an element of Iran's national flag, which I'll show you in a moment. So this is why we've got Iran coming in now. This is the Irish. This is the same colours as the Welsh flag. This is when fire and ice merge with your climate change bullshit. So the lion and sun symbol is based largely on astronomical and astrological configurations. The ancient sign of the sun is the house of Leo. Well, this is what I explained in my last video. This is the new solstice that we're going on to. We're going on to as in the doors, we're going through the doors of Narnia. The doors sang, the West is the best. The West is the East. So the new East of the West is Oz. Is Australia, Asia, Malaysia, and this is the last corner. You know, we've been through the passages of the solstice changing. We're going from the from the Pirate Cross, St. Andrew, who's just fallen, Prince Andrew's just fallen from grace. That's why Billy Connolly, the Scotsman, is now so-called got Parkinson's disease and cancer. Well, BC Billy Connolly is JC John Cleese, Jesus Christ. This is Billy Connolly, Monty Python, is just talking about the coming together of the before Christ and the after Christ. It's the two sides of the eight. It's the two sides of the Alpha Omega, of the Alef Tav. This is the last V22, is the 22nd letter in the Hebrew. So the House of Leo is now Oz, Australia. That's why we had through the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. The new Westway is Aquarius and Capricorn, and it begins from next winter in Capricorn. But mainstream astrology has got it happening in Aquarius to keep us stuck, crucified, CruciFRIED, CruciFICTION on the fixed cross. When, as I explained in my last video, we're going back to a twin peak. We're going back to 8. We're leaving the 12 and we're going back to 8 to the proper wheel. But there's just a small gateway. The choice is large. This is Bedlam that we're going into, but the gateway is in our heads. It's when we merge the 4 parts of our brain, when we see how we function, when we see how our ego and our consciousness and our super ego and our super unconscious all work. We become grand masters, because everything happening on the exterior is you're just gonna go mad. And this is why it's an inside job. You see, it's just... Anyway, according to her, the combination of the sun above the lion has become the coat of arms of Iran. In Islamic astrology, the zodiacal lion was the house of the sun, the house of the rising sun. Remember that song? This notion has unquestionably an ancient Mesopotamian origin. Since ancient times, there was a close connection between the sun god and the lion in the law of the zodiac. So now the new solstice is England at the top. So Scorpio, we've got Aquarius on the west way, and we've got Leo on the east way, and we've got Taurus on the north way. But Sinbad the Sailor, the sine wave only touches the horizon 3 times. That's why we have 369. Orange is 369. The phone call in France of orange is 369. That's why we have orange communication. Orange is the new black. They want to, Mercury, the Lion King, the Sun King, wants to take over from Earth, high female, high cardinal Capricorn. That's why we've got all this fake feminism. You know, it's time for you women to grow up, you know, to start seeing through all this. This is Solomon. Anyway, you can come and read all this. I mean, it's just so important. And Persian and Turkic dynasties. And this is what they're showing us. So they're saying, isn't this wonderful? Look. Oh, South Australian woman, Rose Fletcher. Well, yeah, Rosemary's Baby. Took this picture. Oh, wonderful. And it just went viral. Just happened to go viral. This is the red and black. This is the true Twin Peaks. And this is their fake Sun King. In the Bible, as I say, there will be no need for the sun and the moon. There could be some massive plasma event, but that is just coming from us waking up. That's just our consciousness. That's the Mary Poppins. And it's an inside job. Okay, so let's let's go through what I've been writing since the last video. So we had the Queen's speech, the Looney, Windsor tunes, Windsor, Air, Aquarius, the Tsar. Tunes is over. He, haw, I, 50, changing, that's 50, 50, changing of the Guards constellations, 50-50, Rosemary's Baby generation, crossover. D-Day, 4-4, that's why she talks about D-Day in her speech, is 8, D'Artagnan, North Star, Fomalhaut, in the 32nd department, held, that's where I live here, Lupercalia is a 3-day festival, and if you go through all my videos from last year we had 3 weeks of sunshine, 3 weeks, and it began with Valentine's Day. That's my fire crackling. So last V, catch 22, Alef, Tav, Alpha, Omega, Tribe of Dan, ends the Holy Grail. Last Fortune Corner, angle, D-Day is Croco, Nile, Milky Way, MMW, Dundee. Postcode DD8, so Dundee is 8 in Scotland, the postcode. The 8th, so she talks about the 8th grandchild, King Archie of the Covenant, Ark of the Covenant, like a bridge over bumpy water. New South Wales is the new Dragon King. We are at CC33, birth of the pan-green man-child Antichrist. Cruci, Climby, change fiction. Prince Andrew, T-Rex, Scotty, Dundee, fell from grace. 32 paths of wisdom, 23 twins strands of DNA, 322 skull and bones, mutable current, but I've said all this. We move on to the fixed cross, St. George, the Galois, Welsh, Celts, French, New Cross. To bear the tempest is this year before we enter the new twin peak age. V for Victoria, victory, 200 years, twin LL, double, last angle. Okay, it's all a show and we are just pawns until we become spiritual beings again. Step away from the crap trap, be the lamb, Bethlehem, not the buck in the ham, North Star, donkey, last leg. Okay, that's just me going off on one. So what have I got here? This is the new Union Jack. How wow. This is the Hawaii flag. You can see that that's just like the Union Jack, the blue and white St. Andrews. That I spoke about in my last video, why T-Rex Scotty was in Scotty Morrison, the Morrison dancers. They wear the cross, they do the little dance. These are all the people that rule this world. Our countries don't exist, England, Australia, America. They're just make-up countries to make, to get money going, to spread out, to make Benetton, to spread out the DNA, and then to bring us all back into this one world that we're coming into now. It's all, that's Lord Hee-Haw, who did all the propaganda. This is the New South Wales flag. They've got the dragon there. That's what's happening. It's the dragon. This is the whirlwind. This is the swastika. This is what's going on. We're going through this last whirlwind before we come back to order out of chaos. This is the 4 fixed stars, and this is the movement. This is the swastika that they make, and this is about to spin. So here you have it. Here you've got Hawaii over here. We've got England, Scotland right at the top, the new, and this is where I live, France. That's why we've got Lupiac here, Lupercalia. We've got my Labyrinth. And the sine wave touches 3 times the horizon. So that's your Trinity, 3, 6, 9, and the 4 corners, 4 and the 3. Okay, we've got 3 months in each season and 4 seasons. So we're at the last corner, 22, V for victory. that I spoke about in the last. So we've got the 4 corners taken over, and they're showing us St. George. All that's explained in, it's like, you know, it's Goldilocks and the 3 bears. This is the Queen Bee, and they're taking over now the Wicked Witch of the East, the Beast, and the Dragon has got New South Wales in flames. Okay, that's the 369 orange. That's the horns. This is the principle of love is desire to give. The law of love is rhythmic, balanced, interchange between all givings and re-givings. The symbol of love is the wave of dual light, which gives and re-gives equally and rhythmically. So this is what's being taken over, and that's why you've got your masterclass. They've made this beautiful wave into an M. Okay. Here's the 8s. This is where we're at now, the gates. And there will be no need for the sun and the moon once we get through. Okay, that's your new cross we're going on to. Right, I've got a lot to show you, so. Yeah. I think that you can go and read that. This shows you the DD, what I just spoke about. D-Day, this is Dundee in Scotland, this is the 8th. You know, it really is, this is the Scottish and the Welsh, and this is all the Celtic, the Gaulois. This is the French, the Gaulois. This is the equinox 322, that's what it means, and we're at the last V. 22 is the V. We're at the last. Right, okay. So now this, I'll show you more of that here. Yeah, you can come to this page. Now everything is in this film, as I say, Picnic at Hanging Rock. I've been covering this film a lot, and little did I know just how strong that predicament was to speak about that film, because it's everything that's happening now. This is this whole new age that we're being led into. Bohemian rat sodomy, Pippi Longstocking, it's the end. You see, Mercury and Jupiter want to hold on to this age, and they're trying to do that this year. But if we just stay strong, they will all fall. If you guys can see through all this, it's not going to work. Just don't fall into the fear. Don't fall into the fear, because these guys, they're out. Here we have the merging of the dragon and the 3. So the 4 corners and the 3. This is Ichstein. It's the Germans, the unicorn and the lion. This is Bohemian Grove. This is the year of the rat that we're entering now. It's white, a white pale of shade of white. So the white and the red merge to make the green. This is the green of Oz, the Tempest that we're at right now, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And here she is, Queen Elizabeth, getting ready for this Theosophical Society. There's the dragon. This is the new age that they want to bring us into. And this is the Windsors. These are the Russians. You know, it's all, yeah. This is the world. There's the Queen. It's Bohemian Grove, huh? There we have the dragon, St. Andrews, and the fixed cross, the harp. We've got these 4 corners now merged. And there's William Blake again, Ophiuchus. This is the fake hero closing us in. Queen 39. We're at the 39th degree of the wheel. 36 is the last degree, but 36 is 39, 369. Okay, so this is the 10th door. This is the exactly what's happening now. This is the time of the lunar eclipse we're about to have. It's at 5 o'clock and it's on the 10th. And it's in the 9th sign, Sagittarius. 6 is a 9, it's on the 10th and it's at 5 o'clock. Looney Tunes. This is the opening of the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. And this video is about you staying cool. ER is about to become RR. The Empire is about to become a republic. This is from that video I showed you. Hawaii is going to be the new, this is the fake Venus. It's the lion doesn't lie down with this Venus. The lamb is Aquarius. And Leo is Australia. There's Dundee, the two dragons merging. It's the Dundee flag. And this is the waltz of Claudile. What's the name? Claudile, the wife of the famous sculptor. The sculpture is called the Waltz. And her death was celebrated for the opening of all this the other day. So you see, this is what's going on now. Here we go. This is the Roman Empire and everybody is in fire. Uranus is about to go forwards for this 10th. We're going to have Venus right in the middle. That's why they've got the 5-pointed star on the Baphomet, which is not Capricorn at all. It's Mercury and Jupiter playing the fake Ophiuchus. They don't want us to make it over here. So this is why we always see Venus on the head of the Capricorn as the pointed star. It's all being set up for this date. This is the big day, the 10th. And Mars is on the claw here where the hidden last key is. I've spoken about that in my last videos. And when that Mars hits, so we've got the 12th, 13th, 14th of February is when Mars goes into Sagittarius, and that is the opening of Deadly Valentine. But we're beginning with this loony eclipse, which is right on Sirius, which is the scorching burning star. Okay, I have to read to you because when I've written stuff, as I say, it's now just gone 5 o'clock. Okay, this is more explaining. The lion and the unicorn are symbols of the United Kingdom. The unicorn is actually described in mythology as being half lion and half horse, with a horn on its forehead. They are, properly speaking, heraldic supporters appearing in the full royal coat of arms of the United Kingdom. The lion stands for England. And there we've got the St. George, the St. Andrews, the Welsh, the English, but this is basically the Irish rule is all IRA, Iran, and the unicorn for Scotland. The combination therefore dates back to the 1603 accession of James I of England, who was already James VI of Scotland by extension. You come and read this. I'll just show you these pictures briefly because it explains, you can work it out. So here this is the last knife, the last sword, the sword in the stone. That's why you saw the cake, the puddings. That's the brooch. This is the closing of the circle. This is the harp. So harp is what's created all these fires. And that's where, look at all harp is situated over the world. If you don't know what harp is, shame on you. I mean, it's just so terrible. But at the same time, you know, this is the ultimate chaos that we're in now. And this is about pulling yourselves together and getting into contact with the 4 parts of your brain, working out how you function, how other people function, and, you know, to stop, just to grow up. You can't keep following the news. You can't not see through this. The Antichrist and a cup of tea. Yes. It's the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Okay, so beam me up, Scotty. This is about Billy Connolly and the paid gal. Now this is all about Queen Victoria. Explaining, I just don't stop explaining it all, but I'm tired, and I'm directing you to go and have a look for yourself. Come and have a look at my page, Personality Papillon. I've got loads on my Victoria Cotton and Victoria Cotton wheel, but I try to put the most important stuff that I write, and as you can see, I spent hours and hours writing and explaining. Now this is my, this connection between Lewis Carroll, my great-grandmother, who was a potato slave and who was brought up by Juliet Cameron. And Juliet Cameron is all the East Indian Company. As my great-grandfather, this woman, my great-grandmother, was sold into, I think that she may even be a poor little boy turned into a girl. That's them playing Romeo and Juliet. You can see more. That could be a guy. This is Sir Henry Cotton, who wrote a book, and this is all this new age that we're going into, the Theosophical Society, and there she is. This is the Maypole, this is the Midsummer Night's Dream, this is the dancing around the Maypole, this is the you know, what we're being whirled into. I explain it all. You see, it's all pedophilia. This is Alice, that was supposedly photo taken by Lewis Carroll, but that's a photograph taken by the woman that took my great-grandmother and brought her up and sold her into the elite. All this is explained. It's very complex, but if you can join all these dots, it explains the connection between Lewis Carroll, who wrote, of course, Alice in Wonderland, and how all this is connected with my great-grandmother. It's very important to understand. So now this is explaining the masterclass that's coming out at the moment. This is the M of the uterus, and this is all about the free martins and sterilization, turning the sine wave into this pointed M. There we have the M, the Freemasons, and here's St. Martin, who is Aka St. George. It's the same person. This is also Ophiuchus, it's also Odin, it's Osiris, it's the Taurus field. It's the Taurus field, which is the new fixed cross, and they want to own that Taurus field spin when we're going back to the Twin Peaks. We're not going to be on this fixed cross, and they are merging their Welsh dragon with this St. George cross. It's a big French singer. You see, the French are the Gaulois. This is us being closed into the beehive masterclass. This M, it's the sine wave, the M, okay, masterclass, this is the fake trap. You know, we are going on to become, we're leaving the adapter mutable cross. We go from being adapters on the bi-bull, binary duality, and we are going into all these signs will merge. Libra and Scorpio become one again on the top of the solstice. The west way is Aquarius and Capricorn, and the sun and the moon is the new door out. They leave, they're out. That's why they're burning Australia, because the new V is between the west door and the solstice Scorpio, and they're burning down. This is the new East door, Cancer, and Leo, the Sun and the Moon, Solomon. So this is bringing me to what I have to read you. The last things I've written today are very important. But so this is it. This is, you know, this is the roundabout that we're going to be whirled in now. But it's about showing you how alive you are, and you mustn't panic because it's all crap. It's all crap. These are the 4 signs of the brain, and this is when you have to merge your physical, your spiritual, your mental, and your emotional. This is this corner, L. It's the new V. This is the corner, the last L, the last leg. It's the sine wave I showed you. The Taurus field in the middle. That's why we've had this Harry doing his M Mason sign. This is why they're Essex, the Duchess and the Dutch of Sussex or Essex. It's the East. Est. Okay, it's the Arc de Triomphe is the M going through the gateway. And this is the 12 wheel of the étoile, which is the spider web in French. The étoile is going back to 8. This is the age of Aquarius. It's MM. So you see here, Leo is not the golden age. It's Aquarius over here on the West Way. They want to make their king Leo, and there's no more need for the sun and the moon in the new kingdom. Martin comes from Saint Martin. Okay, so this was the Boxing Day. So this is me explaining. Now you know why Boxing Day is called Boxing Day, and why Muhammad Ali was crowned the King of the Rings, why Camel cigarettes dominated our youth, and Lawrence of Arabia created the West, Beast, Be East, WW, Wicked Witch of the East. The West is the best, don't you know? That's why Jane Digby, anyway, talks about everything I've just explained to you. You can stop the video and read that. Okay, this is what's going on right now. But I've added some important things. It looks like they haven't posted everything that I've added. Let me go to my page. Okay, it's all about the split. Those that see through the psychopaths and those that don't. It will reach a peak this year. This is the Tempest. Uranus is in High Cardinal Aries FIRE, where it was for World War II. For Uranus spends 7 years in each sign, so it's this is the cycle. That's why we had V for victory during the Second World War. It was all the beginning to prepare us for the second passage of Uranus now, 84 years later, back to Aries. Uranus is the rude, raw awakener. Uranus is about shock and radical change and electric shocks. Uranus rules our nervous system, and Aries is fire. It is the V, that's the sign of Aries, for victory. That means it's all being planned. You see, Aries is Mars. Mars rules Scorpio, which is the new solstice, and Mars wants to keep control, but it's over. It's over for Mars. Saturn rules the new West Way. Aquarius and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And that's why they're talking about these plasma events and pole shift. All that means is that we're going to go back to the black, to the true sun. When the wheel goes back to 8, there's going to be some kind of passage or pop-off, because people who can't see through all this will have to live the true fires of hell. And we're coming through a peak. We just got to stay cool. And anyway, sorry, I haven't slept at all. It's nearly 6 o'clock, so my head is a bit okay. So means that it's all been planned. All his story is about closing the solid gone in the den. Mars is in Scorpio. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio, fire and ice. Alef tab, spring, autumn. The equinox is the Milky Way Passover. Nearly all of the planets are in Sagittarius at the moment. Mutable fire. Wait till Mars, ruler of Aries fire, hits Sag too. Well, this is our Lupercalia, St. Valentine's 3-day madness. Romulus and Remus, the wolf twins. The head of the Dragon Rahu is on Sirius. The Tail Ketu is in Sagittarius, Ophiuchus. You see, the Milky Way, they now want to make it masculine. They've wiped out Isis completely. Normally, Isis is now the new solstice, Scorpio. But they've put their Odin as Ophiuchus or Saint Martin at the top of the solstice, when it's actually, so that makes male, Romulus and Remus. That's for the people who want to go down into the underworld. That's why they've got all these, all the saving the animals all the time. They're trying to mix humans, keeping them in the flesh and animal. We are grand masters. We're not, we're not of the flesh, we're of the spirit and flesh. The head of the Dragon Rahu is on Sirius. The Tail Ketu is in Sagittarius, Ophiuchus, their 13th fate sign. Simply the head and tail of the Milky Way or Osiris and Isis. The scorching, burning dog god star, as it was for 9/11 and the fire of Notre Dame. Sirius, our English sir, is derived from this word, was by the ancients always associated with great heat and the hottest part of the year. We still call the dog days the naming of the fixed star Sirius. So this is this king, okay? You could go and look. You can stop the video and go and read about Sirius the Great. You see here it is Sirius the Great with a Heman crown or four-winged cherub. This is the king of the four corners of the world. King of Babylon, king of Sumer and Akkad, king of Ansha, king of Persia. These are the real countries. Iran is all the United Kingdom all put together. Iran is just about to take back the land that they used. Instead of having white slaves, they just gave us all countries. So now they've got open, they don't have to have sex slaves anymore. They've got English women jumping at the bit through Instagram to go and sleep with Saudi Arabians for money. They don't need a sex slave trade system anymore. They don't need to hide behind with their pedophilia anymore, because it's all going to be out in the open where they want to take you. They've just done their Benetton, and these countries never existed. Iran has been running the whole show. Iran is the IRA. Okay, so you go and read all that, you'll work it out. So look, we've got Bulgaria, Macedonia, Eastern Europe. These are all the true countries. Our countries, the Commonwealth countries, is just la-la land. We don't exist. We were just spread out for breeding purposes to mix DNA. The last Shah of Iran, Mohammed's. Now, interestingly, my ex-sister-in-law wrote a very famous book in France. When she was 17, she was picked up in Paris and went to live with him. And yeah, I mean, my life is just constant connections. Her book is called Porte 17, Porte 55. She was 17, he was 55. It's a very beautiful book. She writes it in a very poetic way. I don't know the true background of what's going on in my ex-husband's family. I mean, my life is just being, I'm all 12th house Pisces. It's like I've walked in the fog all my life, and all of a sudden I'm joining all these dots. But that's what everyone's lives are around. If everyone was conscious, if everyone merges the 4 parts of your brain, then you get to put the puzzle together of your unconscious and your conscious and your subconscious, and life is really exciting. And you don't need to be afraid about all this once you work it all out. So you go read about Sirius, you go read about the Lion King, Lion and Sun, Wikipedia, and I finished this. The Scorching Burning Dog God Star, as it was for 9/11 and the Fire of Notre Dame, Sirius. Sir is derived from this word, was by the ancients always associated with great heat and the hottest part of the year. We still call the dog days. The naming of the fixed star Sirius, the dog star, blah, 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 blah. Uranus has been retrograde these past 6 months after the Looney Tune Lunar eclipse, 10th of January. Uranus moves forward again. On the 11th of the 1st, Uranus will be at 32222. Yes, I went and saw that. My goodness. So this is Jupiter and Mercury, who are so well lined up for this Looney Tune, 10 Downing Street, to take control, because they know that they're in the shit once Saturn and Jupiter, we have the great conjunction. Go watch The Dark Crystal. It explains that film, which is happening on the coming solstice. This year is just the scary year. It's the peak of the scary, and it will all stop as soon as everybody sees through all this. If you're still following the news, if you still can't see through the crap trap, then you are going to be swept away, because the new world is only for the grown-ups. It's only for these incredible younger generations, and for those of us of the bridge over troubled water generations, who have the guts and the courage to snap out of the mind control that we've been in. And so, like an elastic band triggered, Clockwork Orange Hell will be released worldwide, because you fast asleep Walking Dead will think it's all climate change. Mainstream astrologers think Uranus is in Taurus. What a fucking joke. We are living HH88 Last Hunting Horn, CC33, Crucifixion, CruciFRIED, and the separation of the wheat and the tares. The division bell will happen at the end of this year. It's going to get crazy. The Black Lodge gates open 21/12/2020. It's an inside job. Okay. So, you just come and read on my page. It's explaining it more and more and more. So this was something interesting I wrote. It explains about the meaning of Lazarus, his last album, Rising from the Dead. This is something interesting I wrote too. Oh, I don't want it all to open. Okay. Oh. Yeah. You can stop the video and read all that. Okay, this is brilliant, this guy on YouTube. He is going to explain how you get into the ego, the unconscious, the subconscious, and the superego, the 4 sides of the mind. You can go and find him. He's called CS. He's called, that means I have to open it if I open it. Okay, well, this is what I was talking about when I'm saying we're going back to the 8 wheel. When I say we're going back to the 8 wheel,
why do we learn about human nature? Well, because
we're going back to understanding the 8 cognitive spectra. He's called C.S. Joseph. This is all what I've got to integrate now, because I'm all this abstract INFP, ISFP energy, and I'm doing my work to understand how I function, the 4 parts of my brain. I've already done all the spiritual part of that. I've already had the spiritual, the pineal gland awakening. I've had the enlightenment. But I'm still going to work on myself, because that's why we're all here, working on ourselves. This is something, again, about Lazarus. You've got to go and see Jack Stephen on David Bowie. This is him risen from the dead. That's David Bowie. You go and read that. I mean, just give me a break. Okay. The biggest message we are being told, if you are paying attention, is M for masterclass. We are being shown that we are leaving the mutable age of adapts. We can conduct our own conductor. The master must rise to the grand master of one's own mind. They give you heroes because our primary function of the ego is the hero. If you are observant of these M classes shoved in our faces from every angle, every few seconds on YouTube, it gives you the framework of the beehive we are being closed into. These people are all part of the beehive. They know the game by heart. They are trained puppets to lead the sheep astray. They are the heroes' gang. As long as you look up to them, you cannot read the underlying deceit and tricksters they are. They were given the opportunity to be masters of this chess game. They sold their souls. The only way to escape the Aquarius fixed cross master is to become the Twin Peak Grand Master. We enter a double age, Aquarius Capricorn. She is high cardinal earth, he is fixed air, heaven and earth. This year is all about taking ourselves into the highest expansion of Sagittarius. So we can use all this energy in Sagittarius to really to become the masters of our mind. Sagittarius is the fire of the mind. The fires that we are seeing is what we should be doing in our minds. You should be joining all these dots to find our minds and our philosophy and to merge all the corners of our cognitive functions, to become the observer of every type of human function. Then we are not falling in the hero trap of Ophiuchus, the fake 13th sign. We want to go out the door. We want to go through the door into Narnia, which is the west way now, which is NASA, North America, South America, represents the west way of the equinox. And you don't want to get stuck in the fear porn in Australia, which is the beast of the east. And for the people living in Australia, you have to come together and you have to break the dams down and you have to take your water back. You cannot be pandering around being afraid. You know, this is for you guys, the Leo and Pluto generation. It's our last year this year. And you guys have just got to just get up, let the dams down, take your water back, take your power back. The struggle, this is what Ophiuchus is about. Ophiuchus holds apart the serpent with all its mighty spirals and twisted body and circles his own, so that he may untie its knots and back that winds in loops. But bending its supple neck, the serpent looks back and returns, and the other's hands slide over the loosened coils. The struggle will last forever, since they wage it on level terms with equal powers. Well, that's your Aquarius. That's your equality, liberty, fraternity, bullshit, socialism, communism trap that you're walking into with climate change. There is no climate change. We're changing of the guards of the ages. To the phantom's neck, back, the crown is near, but by his head marked near at hand the head of Ophiuchus. And then from it you can trace the starlit Ophiuchus himself, so brightly set beneath his head appear his gleaming shoulders. They would be clear to mark even at the mid-month moon, but his hands are not at all so bright, for faint runs the gleam of stars along on this side and on that. Yet they too can be seen, for they are not feeble. Both firmly clutch the serpent which encircles the waist of Ophiuchus, but he, steadfast with both his feet well set, tramples a huge monster, even the scorpion standing upright on his iron breast. Now the serpent is wreathed about his two hands, a little above his right hand, but in many folds high above his left. So that is talking about the never-ending war of the Milky Way. The Milky Way has opened, it's expanded, and it's going to contract. And you don't want to get stuck in that Milky Way. You want to make it out the door. So you've got to get through this next year. And so this is Agenda 21. This is PP, Peter, Jupiter, and Pan, Mercury, Joker, the Green Man. This is CC33, climate change. It's all about fear, for change, the fires and the ice. It's a test to see who can see through the crap trap. This is how we are divided. Earth is a school to upgrade and to get up your own ladders and slide down your own snakes to find the narrow G8 gateway or 8. It's all a big load of crap. Just get organized and sit still, because this year is the Tempest. You go and look up Agenda 21 if you don't know what it is already. Now, these are the real heroes, not these masked classes. Real life heroes that are put through man-made hell by psychopaths that manipulate the we at her. Maybe Masterclass can show you what life as a firefighter is like, or trying to live a peaceful life on your own land on the outskirts of cities is like today. It's all about herding the sheep through terror down under New South Wales, Pays de Galles, Les Gallois. Not for nothing, the fires worldwide began with Allumer le Feu. So Allumer le Feu is Johnny Hallyday, and he died in 2017. And since he died, we've had all the fires worldwide. And they've all been started by directed energy weapons, by aluminium in the chemtrails, by cell towers, by HAARP, and by controlling the rain. They're stopping and blocking the rain, and they've blocked your dams. And Johnny Hallyday is Hal from 2001 Odyssey. Hal. You can read that, because I'm not stopping to read anymore now. I've just got to get through. So this is very important. This is the last thing I'm going to show you now. Meet Momo, Muhammad Ali, Lord of the Rings, or Aslan, the new equinox is NASA, West Door, North South America. Actually, I'm not going to read all that to you because I'm tired. But look, you can stop the video, but it's all in there. This is what you've just got to go and look up about the Lion and the Sun, and about what Iran really is. You go and read that, or stop the video and read this. And we'll just finish with this. So this is the Aborigine flag. And basically this whole wheel began with the Aborigines, and we're ending it. We've done a full cycle. We're coming back. But it began with the merging of lights of the sun. This is the end of the sun. They want to keep a power. They're not going to keep a power. We're going back to the red and the black. This is the orange. This is the lion. This is King Louis. This is I'm the king of the swingers, and I want man's red fire. Yeah, there is one thing, important thing, that I need to read to you. And this is the fake Solomon. This is the fake Solomon. Yeah, it's here. It's in this blackjack. Blackjack. So, I was asked about Bowie's song Lazarus. Here is the bow of Sagittarius. Well, here is the bow of Sagittarius. This is the lunar eclipse. And there you've got the bow and arrow between Sirius and, you know, the new 10th door is going to be here. It's going to be in Scorpio, but they want to make it into their Sagittarius. When all the planets move, when the Aquarius and Capricorn become the new West door, and Scorpio becomes the new 10th door. So for this lunar eclipse, they're doing a ritual to take over, because they want their 10th door to be Ophiuchus. That's why they've created a 13th sign. There is no 13th sign. So I have to read this. He is the bow of Sagittarius, Jupiter, Ophiuchus, the Joker, Jesus, the Sun Fool, is stationary for 3 days over the winter solstice, then rises again. The story of the Sun, Blackjack himself raised from the dead. actors do not die as we are told, they retire. And when they have done good work, they get to rise from the dead, as Bowie does here, to laugh at you. It's a divine comedy. Lazarus is a given name and surname. It is derived from the Hebrew Eleazar, meaning God has helped. Late Latin from Greek Lazaros, from Hebrew Elazar, El-Azar. The Lazarus Effect is a 2015 American supernatural horror film. Medical researchers Frank and his wife, fiancée Zoe, have developed a serum codenamed Lazarus. It was intended to assist coma patients, but is shown to actually be able to bring the dead back to life. Some scholars have suggested that Zoroastrianism, so we've got the Zoe, was where the first prophet of a monotheistic, well, there we've got Odyssey 2001, there we've got Apollo 11, El, even, Saturn. This is all to take over Saturn. This is the, go watch Odyssey 2001 again, and that's why the Queen spoke about Apollo 11. This is all to do with this lunar eclipse coming up. Faith arose, claiming Zoroastrian as being the oldest of the revealed creedal religions, which has probably had more influence on mankind directly or indirectly, more than any other faith. Now, this is the fake stuff I'm reading you now. If you see my last video, I explained the 9. The 9, we're at the 9th house, Sagittarius. The 9th Iranian month is called Azar, meaning Atash or fire. Well, I'm the king of the swingers, yeah, the jungle VIP. What I desire is man's red fire to make my dreams come true. So this is what's going on. Fire was so important to them that they created a goddess for it. Sanity of fire has an ancient origin. All the tribes on the earth have praised the fire. Fire is when you don't illuminate, you don't rise from the phoenix and become the ether, spirits. So this is, hello, my name is Solomon, Pass the Fire, made by the human is dependent on, which also produces steam and electricity. Well, Uranus is electricity and it's in Aries fire at the moment, and it's going to go forward on the 11th, and this is it. We're going into Looney Tunes. And I'm telling you all this so you can sit back and watch popcorn and stay cool. Get yourself organized, get yourselves together, open the dams in Australia and sit cool. And you go and read that because it explains exactly what they want. This is the Solomon seal. This is how they want to have the God that doesn't let people die. You're going to be kept alive in artificial intelligence. I mean, you're going to live whatever you can't see happening. If you can't, you know, otherwise the new generation next year, this is your job. People born between 68, all the Rosemary's Babies, and 86, you have to create the new world. We're here to help you, those of us who are still alive, but we've got to create the new world, and they're going to bring you into a fake la-di-da, new age, bohemian rhapsody. And it's the fake light, it's Lucifer. So, you know, the only way to stop all this is to, basically, it's an inside job. It's seen through the psychopaths in your community, in your workplaces, in our governments, in our families. It's merging the demon's subconscious brain with, you know, making your ego work properly. And that's an inside job. All the exterior will fall into place when people do the inner work. And I explain all this because I can, because I've got no more fear left. But you've got to do that work, and you've got to go through all this. So I think I've covered everything. It's now 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to have a little bit of sleep. I am trying to get readings in. I've come out of my own narcissistic relationship. I'm trying to get my life back together. I've just done a difficult 2 weeks. I'm you know, I don't have much food to eat, but I'm staying cool. I'm incredibly resilient, I have noticed. And that's what this is all about this year. It's about staying cool and just finding your inner strength and not sucking off the energy and the light of other people, not living off other people's fire. It's about making your own fire. And I'm putting back my life together, and this is going to be a really good year. 2020 is going to be a really good year for me, monkey gang, monkey, dragons and rats. It's going to be a good year for all of us because people are going to see through the crap. You know, they have to create this whirlpool. There has to be the tempest. Order out of chaos can either be we are controlled by an outside force, or we become our inner conductors of our own conducts. You know, we are a hot and cold battery system. Okay, darlings, I hope that this has helped with what's going on in Australia, and I love you very much. Bye.